All right, Perry. Well, let's talk pho and dumplings and how to bring Vietnamese and Chinese cuisine home during this quarantine. Tiffany Chin here, your LA realtor. Welcome to our video series, Small Business Spotlight Foodie Edition. So a lot of local restaurants have been forced to get creative during these challenging times. So we at Tiffany Chin Real Estate want to do our part in helping to give back to the community that has been so good to us. So we're featuring a different food establishment every Friday, and today we have the honor of spotlighting two LA concepts, Forage and Dumpling Monster. Let's meet Perry Cheung again, chef and owner of Forage and Dumpling Monster. Hi Perry, it's so wonderful to have you on our show today.
Hi Tiffany, nice to have me again, or thanks for having me again.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I have to share with you that I was lucky enough to dine in at Dumpling Monster before COVID hit, because my sisters and I have dinner together every other Sunday. And one Sunday after an open house, I had this crazy major craving for Taiwanese food. I studied abroad in Taipei way back in the day, and cravings for Taiwanese food just hit me out of nowhere. So, I corralled my sisters to drive out to my side of town so that we could give Dumpling Monster a try. I'm happy to report that it was packed in there to the point that we ended up having to sit side by side at the bar top against the windowed entrance. So thank you to Dumpling Monster for satisfying that craving. It definitely hit the spot.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you made it in before COVID, because I mean, fresh dumplings are everything.
Oh, they really are. They really are. And you guys have perfected it. I'll leave all that to you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, of course. So Perry, tell us the story behind Forage and Dumpling Monster and how you got started with them.
So Forage and Dumpling Monster. So one of my first concepts that I did down here was a dumpling concept. And then that didn't work out because it's a failed partnership. And then shortly after that, that's where Forage came about, because being a chef, it's like the next thing that I knew was Vietnamese food from working at the Slender Door in San Francisco. And I just moved my way down to LA and just trying to, grow as a chef and then find the next step. So since dumplings didn't work out, Vietnamese food started. So Forage was established in June of 2013, and here we are. It's just like 7 years later. I have 3 locations, one in Playa del Rey, and here we are in the West Hollywood location, which actually has a bar.
Oh, wow.
It's been super dangerous to have a bar during COVID though, because I found myself drinking.
Oh.
Yeah, like every day. So I had to wean myself off alcohol, and this is my 4th day without liquor, which is amazing.
Oh my
but anywho.
Yeah, you and everyone else is resorting to alcohol, huh?
Oh my gosh, yeah, you should see my recycling pile in my apartment. And then but yeah, so then Dumpling Monster, I actually opened that in February of 2019. It was an opportunity to come into the West Hollywood location. Both these locations are in West Hollywood inside the Avalon building. And not the club, but the Avalon West Hollywood is the living apartment complex, just in case people get it mixed up.
Thank you for clarifying.
I gotta clarify, yeah, because some people are
My
like,
audience
Avalon
will definitely need that clarification.
Oh, okay. It's not the club. But yeah, so Dumpling Monster actually got back in touch with one of my old chefs that from the first concept that I did, and things didn't fare out too well there. So we kind of just teamed up and created this concept, which is just like a little quick service sit down, nothing too crazy, or small footprint that's scalable. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Let's see. So what makes Forage and Dumpling Monster so special to you?
So Forage and Dumpling Monster, there are foods I love to eat. I could eat every day, but I don't, because I try to stay healthy. But it's what makes them so special is that, like, how these menus are designed. It's just kind of very streamlined to the point, so that when you come into this, you don't have to. There's not too much guessing. You have such a long day of work, or you're already, juggling all these things. Like, the last thing you want is to go to a restaurant and figure out if you want number 1 or number 150. Like over here, you come into Forage and Dumpling Monster. It's just like there's just very specific, like the greatest of all time items. Like, for instance, like our pho section, we have beef pho, chicken pho, and it's just a chicken pho with the shredded meat, and beef pho with like the rare beef and the brisket, which is what everyone wants, the oxtail, and the meatball, and also vegan pho. So that's like actually 5, and then
Right.
but that makes it easier, so you don't have to do like number 20 or something.
Right.
And same goes with the dumpling monster. We just kind of streamline everything. There's just dumplings that everyone loves to eat, and it's just like very classic items to kind of just pair with what you're getting dumplings with. So it's pretty much just go in there, get the food, go out, or if you're ordering dinner for home, you can order a lot, so you can share or get your own. And everyone's probably getting their own right now because no one wants to share.
That's true. Although whoever you're quarantined with, you probably have whatever you have anyway. All right. Well, definitely. You really hit that spot on. As a psych major at UCLA, and I remember our personality psych class really talked about how human beings don't like to make choices. So when you overwhelm them with choices, they get overly anxious and struggle with that. So I think you've got.
That's me. I get anxious. I go into like a California pizza kitchen or cheesecake factory. I'm like, oh my god, I want a pasta, I want a pizza, I want this, and then you end up ordering all this stuff, and every dish is like 2,000 calories. But
like decision paralysis, right?
Yeah, decision paralysis, exactly. Yeah. And then
All right. So, we know that things are tough right now for restaurant owners. Will you share with us how the stay-at-home order has impacted your businesses?
The stay-at-home order, it's not in a million years would you think that you'd open a restaurant and not have customers inside. It definitely affected my business a lot. But it's just at this point, you just kind of got to keep going and stay in tune to what the health advisors are saying. But for me, it's like I need to keep these places open just so that my employees have somewhere to come home to later on. And by doing so, it's like I already do a lot of the businesses based on takeout footprint, so that wasn't too hard of a transition. But then the hard part was trying to make sure everything is safe. Like you had to, we block out access. We block out access to outsiders who are coming in our restaurants. So we kind of have like, curtains and stuff like that. Well, what else do? We also hand sanitize everywhere. We're cleaning more. The food, for takeout food, we have to wrap everything in plastic. So that way, the delivery driver, we don't know, we try to avoid having that extra contamination. So we put the plastic bag, we wrap it, and then when the customer gets it, they take it off. But also everything is visual, everything is digital. So we do a lot of ad posts. I have posters all over my restaurant. So if anyone stops by Forage in West Hollywood or Dumpling Monster, there's just like posters of all these weird things here. Right. And the funny part was that I have a Trader Joe's inside the Avalon West Hollywood building. And when this all started, they would line up in front of the restaurant. So I was like, I need to monetize on these people standing here on their phones and miserable from waiting for Trader Joe's. So I would have like a doorbell for shots. I would try to sell alcohol and then food. So it was kind of interesting. People thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But got some business. So that's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And you made people happy as they were waiting in line.
It made people happy. Yeah. But it's been hard, especially, I have a lot of employees that I need to watch after and just kind of see what's going on. I've been asked like, well, if it was safe or not to have staff working. But being in California, fortunately, everyone does drive. So my staff does drive. And even though it's limited hours, they're still able to apply for unemployment. So I'm not sure if a lot of people understand like that. I mean, that's what's going on right now. So so I don't have to worry so much as to if they're able to make ends meet, but yeah, but most important part is to make sure that there's something to come back to. Right. Otherwise just an empty shell. Another thing I'm dealing with is just trying to see what landlords are doing. So this is so much stuff. See if the landlords, what they're willing to do for us as a tenant, because clearly, like, you know, you can't make more base rents, and you know, deferring the base rents, you know, that's a little silly too, which was presented to me, and it's kind of like, yeah, after the stay of home order, we're going to defer your rent. You got to pay the base rent, and then you also have to pay the deferred rent on top of that. It's kind of like, really, like what business is able to compensate that, you know? But yeah, it's been interesting times to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you're taking it one step at a time, and you know, people will be fairly understanding. So
yeah, stay positive, stay safe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all
Yeah.
we can do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you
Yeah.
did mention a little bit about your menus already. Did you want to add anything so that our viewers will know what you offer?
Well, being that it's summer, like Forage, we offer a lot of grilled meats. The banh mi sandwiches are amazing. We do a little differently. Everyone's been attacking me for why isn't there any pate, and I think that's something in the works that I'm going to deal with eventually, since I have so much time in my hands. But because who wants hot soup in the middle of summer, you know? Yeah, we got the rice dishes, and it's very straightforward, all this menu items. Dumpling Monster, same thing. Everything's just kind of just straightforward, stir-fried items, and no specials or anything. But all this. You know, what else do I have? Well, actually, the funny thing is, at Forage West Hollywood, I have an extra kitchen here. I'm actually selling pizzas. Well, I'm not selling pizzas. I have my friend Ryan, who has a D-Town pizzeria. He's occupying my pop-up space in my restaurant.
That's funny.
So it's like, so if you come to Forage in West Hollywood, you'll see all these photos for Vietnamese food and alcohol and drinks, and out of nowhere, just like Detroit pizza. So we have people walking in here. Yeah, I have a lot of confused people walking in here, like, you guys are selling pizza? Like, yeah, only on Fridays, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's kind of funny. And
that is funny.
And the reason I got him here was because I before all this happened, he did a pop-up for Detroit pizza, and I coming from New York, Brooklyn, New York, I love pizza. That's like one of my favorite comfort foods, but it's very dangerous because, like, it's just, you know, you can't eat too much of it. But yeah, I invited him to come here, and he made pizzas. I ate pizzas the whole weekend, and I felt bad for the rest of the week. Yeah. It's just lethargic. Yeah.
Well, you can't eat that much pizza, but at the same time, it's hard to stop.
It's hard to stop. Yeah. And then when you add the beer and you add the alcohol, just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're happy.
Yeah. Most important part, happiness.
Exactly. All right. So now the most important question for those who have Taiwanese and Vietnamese food on their minds, how can viewers get their hands on takeout or delivery?
You can just go straight to our website. We have Forage LA, which is in our Overland, the OG Forage, which is in the Culver City Palms area. Forage, www.forageweho.com, that's our West Hollywood one. And Dumpling Monster, our website is eatdumplingmonster.com. And there's been a lot of questioning lately of how to support businesses without hurting businesses. The best way to do it, if there's an option to order online from directly on the website of the business, usually they'll have something powered by Chow Now, which is also amazing. They set up this platform where people can order food directly to you, and there's no commission taken. So actually, the customer, the restaurant does get every cent. I'm not saying that, like, you know, the other big takeout platforms are terrible, because it's still a service that everyone needs to provide. But you know, things could be done more to help the business itself. But in the end, everything counts. So if you want to help the business, Chow Now, if they have a Chow Now, that's the best part. Best case scenario, just order directly and pick up, just like the old way. And that way, pick up the phone and call. Maybe you can talk to someone, make your day, or order online. You know, and I find that much safer also, especially if you're in a household with, like, are elderly or someone who's like more prone to get infection, you don't have to deal with the driver who's in multiple places and all that stuff. So if you really want to help a business, call in or order online and pick up directly. That is the best way to do it, because especially all the restaurants, we're taking precautions to make sure our staff is safe, along with people that do happen to enter to pick up stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
well, that's a really good tip. I love
yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
Simple, and most of us don't know how all of that inner workings works. So, that's
Yeah.
great to know that we can help small businesses more directly that
Yeah.
way. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely.
Well, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it. There's pizza, dumplings, and Vietnamese food, and yeah, so
Yeah, what
all
more
the
do you
wonderful
want?
things. Yeah, all the wonderful things. Oh, and you get to order alcohol. Yeah, so you get the alcohol delivery now because of all this COVID stuff. So I'm not sure if people, actually, I'm pretty sure people have been ordering drinks to go. But since it happened, luckily the ADC relieved the laws, downplayed the laws a little bit, and just let businesses still manage to sell liquor, which is, that's sometimes that's where all the money comes from, or whatever money there is,
Right.
So you can pay elsewhere. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll just leave it as that.
Great. Well, Perry, thank you so much for joining me today. We're really pulling for Forage and Dumpling Monster to continue to thrive. So
Yeah.
really appreciate your time and hope you enjoy the weekend.
Awesome. Thank you. You too. And thanks for having me again. This has been super fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad. We had a little bit of trouble, but I think we were able to.
It's all part of it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Perry.
All right.
And now to our viewers, if you have a local restaurant you'd like us to feature, please comment below. Remember, we're all in this together. Please remember to support our local restaurants, and now you know how to do that more effectively as well. Enjoy a beautiful LA weekend, and please continue to stay healthy and safe out there. Thanks for watching. Bye.